Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing a video talking about tutors. This is part 2. I will list the other video in the down bar below. Basically, I talk about 10 cards. I only limit myself to 10 cards per video, so I don't talk forever. Obviously, there are way more tutors than this, but I'm just limiting it to 10, so again, we're not here for 3 years. But basically today I'm going to be talking about some pretty sweet tutors, cards that you can use in EDH to spice up your EDH deck. I have kind of like an obsession with tutors. It's basically like not all my Tasigur deck does, but I have like quite a bit in there, so I'm a huge fan. A lot of people hate them, they think they stall at the board, which yeah, okay, but I mean, honestly, who doesn't like just getting whatever card they need, basically? Some of these are very specific, some of these are way more general. Let's get into it. The first card is Vampiric Tutor. I know when this card got reprinted in Eternal Masters, a lot of people were really stoked. This is a card that I feel like if I were ever to like splurge, like pay big people money on a card, this would probably be up there, let's be completely honest, because it's instant speed, 1 mana, you tutor for a card, you put it on top, you lose 2 life. Okay, you do it at someone's end of turn, so you just automatically draw that card, you lose 2 life, guess what, you don't care, you're playing this in EDH where you have 40 life, 2 life really isn't anything. It's also instant speed tutor. It's great, you don't have to reveal it, which is awesome. All around card's just fantastic, let's be completely honest. Cool, next card. I love this card. Woodland Bellower, Woodland Bells, as some people call it. I remember when this card first came out, I was like, I am all about this life. I am all about this Woodland Bellower life, because I was playing EDH and I was playing Tasigur and I have Woodland Bellower in there, and I was like, how freaking sweet is this card? Because you Woodland Bellower into like Eternal Witness, which is just one of the best things ever, or it's like Woodland Bellower into like Rune-Scarred Demon, and that's the next card actually, into Reclamation Sage, which is just sweet, like all around. Or sometimes you just Woodland Bellower for like Farhaven Elf or something because you just really need like an extra land. All around card is really great, and then on top of that you're left with like a 6/5. Like come on, just blinking this thing is just stupid. Like card is just great. Okay, then the card I just mentioned earlier, which is Rune-Scarred Demon. This is like one of my all-time favorite Magic cards ever. I should probably do that, like a video of like my all-time favorite Magic cards. That would be really fun. Let me know if you guys would like to see that. That would be really cool. But I love this card. I mean, EDTBs, you get something, and then you're left with a 6/6 flyer. Like, what isn't to love about Rune-Scarred Demon? It's just like, I love this card. I can't tell you how many times, like, I have this in Tasigur and I'm like desperate for like a flyer on board because I need to block, and I'm like, well, I just get Rune-Scarred Demon and then I get to tutor for something else. I've like tutored for tutors before. Sometimes it just happens where you're like tutor for this other tutor to get this card. Like sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes I tutor, like demonic tutor for Rune-Scarred Demon because again I need a flyer, and then I'm just like sweet tutor for another card. Like it's just great value. Ooh, okay. Chill out, computer. Okay. It's not like a real MTG Guys video where I'm not like arguing with my computer somewhere in there. Okay, then we have called Gatewatch, and I remember like, I think this was right around the time where I was actually building Super Friends, and I was really excited because like all these sweet cards were coming out and called the Gatewatch, and I was like, this is freaking awesome. Or an Oath of the Gatewatch, whatever the hell the set was called. Ooh, that was very aggressive. I don't know why I just cursed right there. Okay. Again, it's very specific. It belongs in like Super Friend types deck, but like this is a Super Friends type card because you just 3 mana and you tutor for like any planeswalker you need. Even if you're running like a couple of planeswalkers, you're like kind of Super Friends, kind of sorta. This is just like a card that you should just auto include in there. It's really, really good. And you'll find if you're building like Super Friends, it can be like very tight slots in there, but I'm just all about this card. I just really like it. It's definitely saved my butt several times in Super Friends because I'm like, damn, I really need something. It's especially really good too, may I just say, if you're running maybe not like 5-color Super Friends and you want to throw tutors in there, because this only gets planeswalkers, so realistically like you can't get board wipes unless you get like a planeswalker which is kind of a board wipe, like Elspeth Sun's Champion, just saying. Her minus ability, but like say you need something more specific, like I think it's good if you're running like 3-color Super Friends where maybe you don't have as many access to tutors or something like that. I don't know, people build all sorts of janky EDH decks and maybe that's a thing, I don't know. I feel like the norm now is like 4, but who knows, maybe people are running like 3-color Super Friends in EDH. I don't know. Okay, this is another like all-time favorite card of mine, like period, not even just in tutors, but it's Conflux. if you're building 5-color EDH and you're not playing this, what are you doing with your life? Because honestly, Conflux is amazing. I think that's what pushed a lot of people off, like, I don't know, at least it pushed me off the edge because I was like, I really want to do 4-color Super Friends, but I miss running Conflux. It was like one of those cards that I was like, I was legit considering like not building like 4-color because I wanted to run Conflux. Like that is how serious I feel about this card. You search for all 5 colors, and yes, it's like 8 mana, but in the late stages of the game, you don't care because you tutor for like all of these things. You do have to reveal them, which kind of sucks, but you know what? It's kind of like, it does suck. I'm gonna be completely honest, but like a lot of times you'll just like get stuff, and like sometimes you just grab like a counter spell. Because if you're getting like a board wipe, like a lot of times what I would do is I'd get like a board wipe, but then sometimes I get like 2 board wipes because you never know. Or you just get anything you need. And like honestly, if you're doing like any sort of infinite combos, you can just get your infinite combo here if you know you're doing that kind of thing. So anyways, Conflux is awesome. Card is just so lit. I love this card. Okay, cool. Then we have a card that, you know, it's actually funny. This was, so Birthing Pod. So before the days that I played Modern, you know, everyone was like talking about Pod and it was like this really big thing. And like, I guess some people like still do talk about it in like a Modern sense. But I was like, dude, like what's everyone's like issue with this card? And then like I played it in EDH and I was like, oh, this card's busted. And I actually, funny, when I was playing Tassiger the other day, I had Birthing Pod out in like one of the games I was playing. And I was like, this card is so stupid. Like, it's just awesome. Like, it works. Like, I can't even tell you, this is, like, graveyard recursion's, like, best friend. Like, any sort of time you're doing anything with, like, you want to kill stuff because they have things when they die. I was about to say Death Rattle, I'm gonna be completely honest, because I've been playing, like, Hearthstone, which I know is, like, so lame, but I don't know. I've been on, like, a Hearthstone kick recently, which is, like, really weird. But, when like, creatures die, you know, like, things happen, or you want to bring things back because you're running more recursion, like, you're running recursion, like, whatever you're doing. I just really love Birthing Pod. I mean, I think the thing about Birthing Pod, though, is you kind of have to sculpt your deck around it, if that makes sense, because you have to, like, keep in mind with it, you want to have enough 1-drops, 2-drops, 3-drops, you want to make sure you're evenly well dispersed, but, I mean, I run this in Tassiger, and, like, if you're doing any, like, kind of Tassiger, like, Sidisi or, like, anything like that, like, I just think Birthing Pod definitely belongs in there. It's a great card. Okay, funny. Okay, Planar Bridge. I remember when this card came out and everyone was like, Tracy, you need to put this in Super Friends. And I was like, this card is really sweet. What I like about it is, okay, like, first off, it's just a lot of mana. Let's just, like, throw that out there. Elephant in the room. We get it. It's a lot of mana. It's 6 and then it's 8. However, it's colorless, which is awesome. So if you're doing like some dumb like artifacts thing, you know what I feel like? My whole thing is I feel like artifacts are so overrated. Like I feel like everyone, I don't know, just because like I saw Duretti get so overused and I was like, stupid artifacts. And I'm not talking like Paul's artifact deck because my best friend Paul has Karn. It's Karn / Hope of whatever the thing of the 1-mana 1/1 flyer thing that you sack, whatever that card is. He alternates between the commanders. That's different though because it's colorless, like entirely colorless. And it's not like he did that before it was cool, before everyone was coming out with like these Kozilek and Ulamog decks, just saying. But anyways, if you're doing like, so I find artifacts like in artifact deck very like, I would never build something like that. I just think it's very like cliche and I'm a hipster and I don't do things that are mainstream. So, I would never build something like that. But anyways, what I'm saying is if you're doing some like kind of deck like that, I think this card works really well in here, as well as Super Friends, because if you're, or any like 4 or 5 colored decks where like you're very sensitive on your manas, I think where your mana base is very sensitive, which is really sweet. And any deck where you run like massive amounts of creature, like things that cost very high mana, I think this card is just really good because then you don't have to worry about paying the mana cost for it. It kind of reminds me of Quicksilver Amulet in a way, if that makes sense. A little bit. I mean, Planar Bridge, you get to search your actual library, whereas like Quicksilver Amulet, you have to like pay from your hand. But yeah, I really like this card. I actually haven't purchased it just because I haven't bought Magic cards in a really long time, and I am considering taking Super Friends apart, unfortunately, which kind of hurts me a little bit, and kind of getting rid of the pieces slowly on Puka Trade, but or some other online website. Which if you guys know any online websites that are like similar to Puka Trade, let me know. where I can get like close to full value of cards, because there's some cards that I just should cleanse my collection of. Okay, then we have Flamekin Harbinger, and this is a card that I don't think a lot of people know about because not a lot of people play elementals. Let me tell you, Horde of Notions is really sweet. When Paul frames his deck, his elementals deck, we're gonna do a deck tech on it. He just needs to like put more money into like that deck and like make it way better, but it's 5-color Horde of Notions and it's really sweet. But he runs Flamekin Harbinger, and I actually had this card, and I think I actually may have this card in Omnath. I don't remember, because I do have quite a few elementals, and you also can get Avenger of... Wait, hold up. Before I misspeak, Avenger of Zendikar is definitely an elemental, right? Am I like making this up? It is an elemental, yes. So that's really good. Like, I don't have a ton of elementals in Omnath because it's more like spells and like other cool things, but I do have a couple, quite a few, like maybe 10 or so. So I was like, let me throw this card in there. It's really sweet. Or again, if you're doing like Horde of Notions, it's really cool. Mainly because you can just, again, get like Avenger of Zendikar, and I love that card, so yeah. Okay, cool. Then we have this Tutor, which I really like this because I feel like graveyard decks are all over this. And that is Traverse the Ulvenwald. And you know what's funny? I should actually probably get a copy of this for Tasigur. I just find that I'm so happy with the deck that I find it really difficult to take out cards at this point, which is like a really good stage to be at with a deck, which I love. You tutor for a land, a basic land. Just keep in mind it says basic. It's also 1 mana for that, which is really good looking at that, like looking at the stats, like of how much mana you're paying for that. Yeah, it's green, but like if you're playing green EDH, you'll probably just have a lot of green. Usually that's how that works, because green tends to be where your mana ramp is at. Then you put it into your hand, shuffle your library. Okay, but if you have Delirium, which guys, if you're playing Delirium EDH, like come on, it's just so easy. Like that's ridiculously easy to get. You just search for a creature or a land. So, you know, if you desperately need a land, like you need like some cool, expensive fetch land or like shock land or like whatever it is that you need, cool, you can get that. Or like Bajuka Bog or something, I don't know. Or you just creature for 1 mana. Like, this card is really, really good. Now that I'm reading it, I'm like, I think I really do need this for Tasigur, but oh yeah, this card's sweet. And the last card, Recruiter of the Guard. I actually stumbled upon Recruiter of the Guard when I was looking for cards for my ladies deck. And I stumbled upon this card because what I was doing is I was kind of looking through like sets. And this card was, you know, I don't even actually know. This is a Conspiracy. I was looking at Conspiracy because I was like, there'll probably be like badass ladies in Conspiracy, which there are. There's like Marchesa and stuff. And I saw this card and I was like, damn. I was like, this card is really sweet. I was like, I feel like a lot of people know it because it is used in Legacy as far as I know. And I was like, that's why like the card was expensive, because I think I was talking to someone and I was like, why is this card so expensive? And he was like, oh, because it's used in Legacy. And I was like, ah, that makes sense. But EDTBs, you search a creature card with toughness 2 or less, reveal it and put it into your hand. And then it's just a 1/1. Like, this just screams like blink effects to be like taken advantage of, which is funny because I've been thinking a lot about making a kind of blink effect deck. Bant. But the thing is that, like, my friend Krista has that in EDH, but I'm like, I want to do it so bad because there's so many sweet things that I can run. And you run, like, Condor's Closet, and it's just really sweet. And that may be, like, my next project. My next, like, pet project is to build that. But, yeah, Recruiter of the Guard is just, like, really good. It reminds me of... There was a card that it reminds me of, and I can't remember what it is. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's kind of specific. I mean, it's toughness 2 or less, but like, honestly, if you're doing like some cool combo with something, I don't know, you're doing the Splinter Twin combo, just saying, you can grab Pestermite with this. That's actually kind of one of the reasons why I do want it in my ladies deck, is because, which I'm actually going to keep this up and write this card down because I want to get it for ladies, but you can get Pestermite with it, and then if you have Splinter Twin, you can combo off with that, just saying. Or you can just get any other sweet thing. Like, this card is just really great, so I'm a huge fan. Okay guys, cool. That is it. That was it for talking about all of these sort of things. I honestly forgot what video I was doing for a second. Tutors. But that is everything, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!